A reading from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 4. Now when Jesus heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and made his home in Capernaum by the lake, in the territory of Zebulun and Naphtali, so that what had been spoken through the prophet Isaiah might be fulfilled. Land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali, on the road by the sea, across the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness have seen a great light, and for those who sat in the region and shadow of death, light has dawned. From that time Jesus began to proclaim, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven has come near." As he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, in the boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Jesus went through Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and curing every disease and every sickness among the people.
Immediately they left their nets and followed him. Immediately they left their boat and their father and followed him. What on earth made Peter, Andrew, James and John leave everything they knew, their livelihoods, their way of life and their families, and follow Jesus? It doesn't seem sensible. Some would say it was foolish, selfish even, just to get up and walk away. So what was it about Jesus that made them do it? Isaiah gives us a clue. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Jesus is the light of the world. Is that what they saw? Is that why they were so drawn to him? As we are drawn naturally to light, so the disciples were drawn to Jesus. They had no idea what was ahead of them, what they would be expected to do. But so compelling was Jesus' invitation, they just got up and followed him. We don't know what these four men expected when they did that, but we do know that it was life-changing for them, and through their faith they helped change the world. Their obedience in following Jesus and spreading the light has had an incalculable effect on the world. Their words and deeds live on in the Gospels, the Acts of the Apostles and their letters, and their legacy lives on in the many places where they lived and preached. And we are part of that legacy. So what is it that brings you here week after week? What brought you here today? And what are you going to do when you leave? How is your faith, my faith, going to change the world? What is our legacy going to be? Because we still need to share the good news. There are still people sitting in darkness, looking for the light of God. Darkness can take many forms. It can be loneliness, fear, persecution, hunger. And the light of God can be friendship, hope, justice, bread. Above all, it is love. Love which reaches out to the people sitting in darkness and hands them a light. It's really quite simple. We have made faith so very complicated, with our many denominations and our theology and doctrine and the language and the rules, and there is a place for all of that. But at the heart of the gospel are people who will follow Jesus and show his love and his light to the people around them. God, who called the disciples, is still calling people today. Ordinary people, teachers, civil servants, soldiers, musicians. And we're still changing the world. Through Sunday services, midweek Eucharists, hospital visits, street pastors, food banks, soup kitchens, youth clubs, night shelters and warm hubs. through justice work and charitable giving, and all the other things that you amazing people do. But I have a question. If Jesus were to come here today, stopping by each one of us and saying, "Follow me," what would we do? We may not have boats and nets to leave behind, but we still have to answer him. And if we do follow him, we may just change the world.